Friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rae, or you can call me Rae for short. I'm a product designer currently based in Lagos, Nigeria. On YouTube, I create content about design, lifestyle, and I also share career tips that will help you grow as an individual. So today, I'll be talking about pricing and payment as a designer. And this topic is mostly asked in my DM by newbies that are just getting their first design gig or their first freelance job basically as a product designer. So today I'll be sharing some tips on how to price your client and also how to get payment or how to get paid by your clients basically. So first of all, I'd like to share that there is no right or wrong strategy towards pricing in design. They are just best practices basically. So I think the first rule of pricing that any designer should keep in mind is that, not even designer but any creative at large should keep in mind, is that always try as much as possible to bill your clients as much as you can. Of course, the pricing should be reasonable, but if the value is worth it, the client would pay. Try as much as possible not to shoot yourself in the leg. Always try to bill as much as you can. Okay, so yeah, that's just like the first law that you have to always keep in mind as a designer. So the next thing I would like to talk about is the two types of pricing that is common in design. So the first one is pricing based on fixed hourly rate. So as a designer, you have to have like a fixed hourly rate that if a client want to employ you or want you to work on a project, you give the client the number of hours that it will take you to work on the project in a day and how long it will take you to work on the project. So per hour, the client will be paying you per hour. So some people have like $500, $200, $20, $70, $100 per hour. And then we have another pricing type that is pricing based on the complexity of a project and requirements of the project. So the first one is pricing based on fixed hourly rates. So in the US, in the UK, outside Nigeria, most clients outside international clients, they like to ask you, oh, what's your fixed or what's your hourly rate? And the reason is because they pay workers based on hourly rate. So for example, for people that do jobs like cleaning, delivery service, most of those like jobs, they get paid based on per hour. So they have like hourly rates that they pay them. So I think that is the reason why it was introduced into design or tech generally. So don't be surprised when a client reach out to like somebody in the US or in the UK or anywhere like outside Nigeria, reach out to you and they ask you for your hourly rate. But as a designer, in my opinion, and if you've watched some of Chris Do's videos where he talks about pricing as a creative or as a designer, he always advises not to be paid or never to like accept payments based on your hourly rate. So the reason being that I will also link one or two of his video where he talked about pricing. I think he's like the best person to explain a bit about pricing and how important it is for you to not collect payments based on hourly rate. So the reason being that most clients, when they reach out to you, they want to spend as less as possible, and as a designer, I want to earn as much as possible, right? So they are looking for a designer that will spend less time and they will pay less money. So when they tell you that, oh, I need you to work on a project or maybe a landing page, and they will tell you that, oh, this landing page shouldn't take more than 3 days and you should be working like maybe 4 hours or 3 hours in a day. Let's say 4 hours or 5 hours or 6 hours in a day, and then they will ask you what is your hourly rate, and then you tell them like, oh, hourly rate is maybe $100. So $100 per hour. So 4 hours, let's say 4 hours in a day is $400, or 5 hours in a day is $500. So and you're working on it for 3 days, so 500, that's $150. So what am I saying? So that's $1,500 for the project. So let's say the project is a project that is it may be a landing page that is quite complicated, that will require a lot of work, if you bill based on the complexity of the project and the requirements of the project, it is much easier to bill more and to give more value. So the thing is that when you bill per hour, you'll be paid less for being efficient, because you'll be spending time to work on it to be efficient. Because the major reason why you can spend short time to work on a complex project is because you've done it over and over and you've gotten the experience. So they'll be paying you less fee or less money because you are being efficient, which doesn't really make sense. So as a designer, try as much as possible, when your clients ask you what is your hourly rate, tell them that, oh, I don't bill my clients per hour. I get paid based on the requirements and the requirements and the duration of a project, basically. So if I'm going to be spending less time on a project, then you should be paying me more, because I'll be spending, working probably overtime to work on the project to deliver it on time. So yeah, that's my opinion on the most common type of payment or pricing in design. So the next thing I'll be sharing is tips for efficient pricing as a designer. So if you are going to be pricing based on the complexity and the requirements for a project, these tips is definitely going to come in handy. So the first thing is understand the requirements of the project, understand everything about the project, the complexity of the project, the time it will take you to work on the project. So maybe you have to jump on the call with the client to ask questions, to just understand everything that you will be needing to work on the project. So just understand the requirements, how you work on it, how you strategize on how to work on basically the project. So that's the first thing. The second thing you want to do is to evaluate how much it will cost you to work on the project. So what do I mean by how much? So this is just more like the cost price, right? Not the profit itself. So just evaluate how much it will cost you in terms of internet connection, in terms of electricity, since you are in Nigeria. So maybe you need to buy fuel. How much will it take you? What is the duration of the project? Do you need to buy some extra resources like fonts or icons or illustrations? Just evaluate how much it will cost you to work on a project without the profit. So the next thing you want to do is find out or deduce from your conversation with the client, deduce how much the client is worth. So what I'm trying to say is that from your conversation with the client, just try to study the client. If the client is an high paying client, or an average or moderate or a low paying client. So for example, if the client is probably somebody that has a company already, or if the client is maybe a startup that they've not even raised money, so the person is probably using his or her own money. So sometimes it's difficult to get paid higher if you are working with a client that is just working on a startup project that has not even raised money. So just evaluate how much the client is worth and what is in the client's pocket. So in that way, it will give you a sense of how much to bill the clients based on the project. So the next tip I would like to share is to ask for the client's budget. What is the client's budget? Don't fall for the trap of, because the client will ask you, oh, how much will it cost you? How much would you bill for this project? Don't fall for that, that trap. That's the first question they will ask you. But the next question you should ask them is, what is their budget? Truth be told, all these clients have a budget already. For me, if I want to go and eat at an expensive restaurant, or a restaurant that I don't know how much, the food there costs, in my head, I would just go there. Of course, I would have a budget of, okay, I shouldn't spend more than 40k, or I shouldn't spend more than 20k in this restaurant, So always have just don't fall for the fact that they don't have a budget. Somebody that is out to employ a designer to work on a project, trust me, they've done their research also, and they have a budget on how much they want to pay for the project. So if they tell you that, oh, they don't have a budget, tell them that, oh, you guys have you want to employ somebody, of course you definitely have a budget. Or if they are still more adamant on the fact that, oh, this is the first time we're working on such project, we don't have a budget, tell them something like, okay, I've worked on a project, something similar in the past, or with this similar requirement, and this is how much. Even if it is not up to that, tell them this is how much. So I build the client paid $6,000 or the client pays $7,000. In their mind, you're already giving them like a budget to work with. Make sure that before you call that price, it's something that would work for you, like it's something that is higher, that in case if the client eventually beats the price down, it's still going to be a lot of profit for you. Then the next thing you want to do is after like discussing the price, you want to agree on the timeline that the project would be delivered, because that is actually very important, and that is also part of the things, the requirement that will let you know how much to build the client. If the project that you need to spend work overtime, work late night on, then definitely the client should pay more for the project. Then another tip that I would like to also share is that be confident in like the way you present yourself when you're talking about pricing. Be confident about your skill, be confident about the value, the solution that you give to the client, because of course, like I said, pricing is a very important topic when it comes to work, because of course nobody wants to work for free and everybody is out to make profit. So make sure you are confident, because as a designer you are also, of course, you have to be skilled to be able to have like that confidence to talk. So to make sure that whatever you are promising the client is what you'll be delivering. So be confident, talk confidently about the value and end results of whatever solution that you are bringing for them. Then maybe at the end of the day they'll be making this profit. You can even evaluate that. At the end of the day, if this project, if you work on this landing page, it will be able to convert this amount of people. That way people, like, the clients want to see the value that they stand to gain if they work with you, and if they pay you the amount that you're asking for. So you have to be able to be convincing and also be confident. So the next tip I would like to share is drop after like you've agreed on a payment, or like how much the clients will be paying, then drop an agreement. As a designer, you should have like a template of how you break down like cost of all the process that you go through to work on a design. So basically in that agreement, what you would have is the list of deliverables, like the amount the research would cost, if you are doing quantitative, qualitative research, amount it will cost, the amount of the resources that you'll be getting, the design, prototyping, testing and validation. You write out, if it is possible, like you write out like the breakdown of the entire amount that you are billing the client, so the clients will understand that you're not just calling any price, but the price is for this process. So it also include the down payment. So the last tip I'll be mentioning is that we're talking about is never start a project without collecting a down payment as a designer. Don't fall for the trap of, start the project and we'll get back to you, we'll pay you once you start the project. Never do that. Make sure that you collect your down payment before you even start doing any research or before you start working on the project. Trust me, I've learned the hard way. Maybe I should tell you the story, or maybe it's for another day. There was one time, let me tell you the story. There was one time, the first international project I got was with a client from Kenya, and the guy is a Muslim. We spoke, he talked about the project. So the project is like an e-commerce, platform, and it's something that I know I cannot work alone on my own. So I reached out to my friend, was anyone that, let's work on this project together and split the payment, the pay, right? So the client was like, go and start the project. I will pay you, once you start the project. So another thing was that because it was an international client, it's not easy to receive payment. So he was not using the excuse that he has to go to the bank to make payment, that he doesn't have time today. Then he started postponing that, he could not go to the bank, or he went to the bank could not send it, the service. It was even different flimsy excuses. Whereas me, I already started the project, I already started working on the project with hope that, this guy would pay. And funny enough, Ozena warned me not to start the project. For me, I was like, because that was my first international, design. So I was just so hyped about working on the project. I started working on the design. I finished wireframe for the onboarding. I finished authentication page. I've started working on high fidelity for all those designs that I've done. Then the guy just came suddenly. we signed a contract. The guy came and he was like, oh, I broke the contract that because the illustration that I used on the design, I've previously used it on one of my side project that I posted online. So he saw the illustration on the design and also saw the illustration on another funny thing that I did. Project that they've not paid for, I already added the client to it, to the project, for them to be seeing what I've been working on. And then he said he's going to sue me that I broke the contract, that I'm not supposed to be using the design or the resource that is meant for the project on another project. And I was just like, you guys don't have any claim over this project, like you've not even paid for like the first payment and you're already making claims. And yeah, it was a long time ago, but that was the experience. So never ever work on a project without collecting a down payment, unless, I don't know, maybe the person, you've worked with the person before in the past and then the person would not do anyhow. But yeah, to stay on the safe side, if they ask you to work on projects, tell them that if you don't receive the alert of the down payment, you can't start the project. And that's what I do, and that's the principle I've worked by this past few years, because after that experience, I was just like, nobody would ever treat me this way again. So yeah, so those are the tips that I'll be sharing based on how to price as a designer. Like I said, it's not a straightforward thing. There's no fixed price. I cannot tell you that, oh, you have to, if you want to design a website, the fixed price is $4,000. If you want to work on a mobile app, the fixed price is $8,000. So there's no fixed price. You just have to understand the requirements of the project, how much it will cost you, and then the time it will take to work on the project. And from there, you can deduce how much you want to bill the client. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about payment. So like I mentioned, if you are working with international clients, if you're working with a client that is in Nigeria, it is much easier to get your payments, to get paid easily. The person can easily use any local bank and they'll send your money to you. But if you are working with an international client, it is tedious and stressful. So because of the way Nigeria is, it's so difficult to receive money from abroad, even though we have thousands of, not up to thousands, but we have a lot of fintech applications in Nigeria, but it is still very difficult to receive money from outside Nigeria. It is really difficult. Some of the platforms that allow international payments and receiving and sending of money, most of them have stopped. Some of them they stop working. Some of them the onboarding process is tedious. And yeah, it is just so annoying. I'd like to talk about my experience recently. I wanted to receive money from a client, I think maybe a month ago. Then I dropped a tweet about, hey guys, what platform is reliable to receive money from abroad, specifically from the US, in dollars. So everybody, I dropped the tweets, a lot of people dropped different, there was almost 100 comments under that tweet, people recommending different platforms. But yeah, funny enough, I came in one of the platforms that was recommended to me was LockrPay. LockrPay is a platform where you can receive money from abroad easily. So when I say easily, seamlessly. I've never seen any app, or at least international app, because I've been freelancing for almost 3 years now, and I've been receiving money from abroad, but it has always been tedious. Sometimes I have to go to the bank, sometimes I have to go and withdraw the money physically, to go and do conversion with Bureau change, which is not very reliable sometimes. It's not even safe. What if they steal the money, and all those things. So recently, when I dropped the tweet, somebody recommended LockrPay, and luckily for me, I got in contact with the founders of the app. Right, so LockrPay is a fintech application or platform where you can easily receive money from your clients from abroad. So all you need to do is create an international or a USD account, dollar account, with just your BVN. That's the mind-blowing part of the experience. So one of the problems that I faced in the past about receiving money or using one of these app to receive, like fintech apps to receive money from abroad, is the tedious experience of the onboarding. You guys can also relate to it if you've been in that situation before, where you would like sign up and they will tell you that it will take them 3 days to verify your account, when you really need the account so badly that you need to like receive your money like now, and then they are telling you they will verify your account in 3 days. Sometimes some of them will ask you to get an international passport or your NIN, or you need to use a voter's card or your driver's license. In cases where you don't have access to all these things, you can't have the account. So one of the problem I face is like the tedious onboarding process. But with LockrPay that I used recently to receive money, was just smooth. It was just my BVN that I needed to create the dollar account, and then I sent it to the client, and then I received the money instantly, like literally instantly. It was very swift. So another beautiful thing about LockrPay is that you can also receive money with a LockrPay user. So for a LockrPay user, you can create a unique Locker ID or tag. So it's just, so for me, my in case you want to send me money anyway, it's just like the way Abeg used to work. I don't know how it works now, but yeah, you just need your unique ID of $sign or $Rae, so RAE. I'm just lucky that I get to have like that RAE was available. But yeah, you just have like a unique ID or tag to receive money to your friends that are LockrPay users. So another thing you can also do on LockrPay is that you can save your money. So you don't need to necessarily remove like you don't need to necessarily, you can save your money there in dollar, and when you want to send it out of the account, you can send it directly to your Naira account, and the conversion rate is in the black market rates. Like literally, that was even like one of the reasons why I'm just recommending this, because also a lot of people ask questions about how do you receive money from US, from clients in abroad and all. So yeah, like I'm recommending this app. I think it's a really nice app, and me being a designer, after going through their app, like the user experience is really nice. At least some of the apps, that fintech apps that do the same thing that I've come in contact with, they are highly functional, but like when it comes to user experience and interface design, they need a lot of work, basically. Let me just say that. I don't want to bash anybody's product, but yeah, like this LockrPay app is just like, they are on the next level, and I'm really excited that I get to discover them now, because now like it's just so easy for me to receive money from the US, or anybody that is basically wants to send me dollars. So one down thing about the app is that they currently just allow you to receive just dollars, and you can't receive money in other currency. But I think from my conversation with one of their founders, they are currently working on getting virtual cards, because they don't also have virtual cards, because the product is still very new. So I think the founders are like constantly working on the improvements of the product. So basically all you can do right now is to receive dollars from your clients and easily create USD account number seamlessly without any stress. Like everything that I'm talking about would literally take you like 2 to 3 minutes to create the account and send your account to your clients and receive your money in 1 minute or in seconds. Since another thing is that the app is currently on invite only mode, so you can only like get to use after downloading the app and signing up. You can only have access to the platform if you have like a unique code, which I'll be dropping in the description below, so that you can check, you can access it and use it to sign up. So all you need to do is just copy the code. So the code is just a 6-digit code, and you can easily just sign up immediately and create your dollar account in minutes. So another beautiful thing I just remember also, like they don't have, like for the time being, like since they are just still new, they are running basically on 0 fees. Like there's no hidden fees, so like you can basically receive like $1 million no matter how much, and they will not remove like a single penny from your account as fees or service charge or anything, which is like really beautiful. Because I can imagine there's some of the fintech apps that I've used in the past where if you are receiving like $100, they will remove $1 as service charge. If you are receiving $500, they will be removing $5. I mean, it's not much, but yeah, like just knowing that you can easily receive money for free without any hidden charge is really nice. So yeah, like I just hope they get to add the new feature to receive other other currencies, and also having like the virtual card on the app where you can easily make international payments. I'm really looking forward to that. So yeah, I think that's just what I want to see on this video, because I know since we are talking about pricing, and I know that receiving money like payment is also a very big issue, so I decided to talk about it, since people also ask questions around how do I receive money from international clients. And yeah, I'm just sharing with you guys the recent platform that I just came across that can help you to receive money from the US, or to receive dollar from the US, or anywhere in the world. Any of your clients that wants to send you dollars, you can easily receive it on the LockrPay app. So you can easily download it on Play Store or App Store. It is there free, and don't forget to check the description below to get the invite code to get access to the platform. So yeah, I think we've come to the end of today's video. I hope you've been able to learn a thing or two from the video, because I've talked about pricing and I've talked about receiving or payments also. So let me know if you have any more questions regarding this topic, and maybe on my in another video I would answer those questions, or I'll answer the question in the comments below. So yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends, and I'll catch you guys in my next one. Bye.